Christopher Nolan is upset about this Warner Brothers news that came up with HBO Max. The movies hitting the living room at the same point, or the laptops at the same point that they would in the theater. Now, I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan. I love the cinema, all these things. I mean, I don't do the painstaking aspect that he would do of making the films. And so I see where the sensitivity exists. When you fine tune a thing so much, you want people to experience all of it. You want them to see it that big. You want them to see the detail the way you intended it, the decisions the way you intended it. So I have the sympathy on that front. But I also recognize what's happening in the world, man.
Convenience.
And I mean, it's so hard to fight against progress or just what people are doing. It's so hard to fight that fight.
Yeah.
Now, there's more detail to it than that. He's also going out and saying, speaking on behalf of other filmmakers, saying, hey, Warner Brothers, the people who made these films didn't necessarily sign up for this either. You just made this switch now. And so potentially there's lawsuits incoming. I see it from either side. It's a very, 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 very messy. That's what he says as his quote. It's very, 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 very messy. It's not how you treat filmmakers and stars and people who have given a lot for these projects. So maybe his thing is more around just the way that it happened and not that it was inevitable. But I know there was a fight put up when it came to Tenet, the recent release, that's going to have to be in theaters, that he wanted to maintain the theater release. However, the film only goes to make $57.6 million after that release because people can't get to the movie theater. Not because people didn't, I don't know what people felt about the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I presume it cost more than $57.6 million to make.
Yeah, it was a big budget.
I presume it cost a few dollars to make. And so what can you expect Warner Brothers to do? All this money invested cost $205 million to make. Now, I guess there's other ways to make money. They're going to sell the film on the usual places and stream the film, and they can cut more deals and try to get that $205 million back. But it's a rough time. It's not a rough time it's a rough time for everybody, Will, not just movie makers. It's a rough time for restaurants. I just told you 110,000 restaurants shut down. So it's going to be messy. But I don't know. You're between a rock and a hard place. You also don't want nobody to see your movie at all. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be too strict about it because then nobody gets to it. But I guess the point to make here, many people were happy about that news, that same day release schedule for upcoming movies like Dune. But there are some people who are less satisfied.